Alrighty, super legends of super legends, megastars of megastars. And look at all these pretty and handsome faces in here. So quickly, let's just say hello. And while we're doing that, I'm going to get my chat screen up. I just want to make sure that the tech is working, just in case we have any problems. If we do have tech problems, you will forgive me, forgive us. Is that cool? No? Okay? No? Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So we've got 𝗦𝗘𝗥𝗣𝗏 in the house. We've got Christine, we've got Dean, we've got Val, we've got Gloria, we've got Kelly, we've got Jay, we've got Ariel, we've got Hilaire, we've got Lee Smith, we've got Diane, we've got Asher, we've got Auntie Peggy, we've got Terry, we've got Kathy, we've got Hilaire's a note taker as well. Hello to the note taker. We've got Tiffany, we've got Gary, and we've got Marilyn coming in to the Zoom room. So just want to make sure that the chat screen is working. So in the chat screen, can you just do me one big favor? If you can let me know where you are tuning in from around the world. And I just want to judge the energy levels. You know, how are you feeling out of 10? So 10 being the highest. All right, what have we got? Oh, so Kelly said, I see my people. Thank you for supporting us today. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. Jay from Seattle, Lee from Reno, Nevada, Ariel from Midland, Diane from Elizabethtown. Lee is a 10 out of 10. Don't we love that? I love a 10 out of 10. Gloria from Canton, Val from Norway, and Val, she's going to be first up, and it is 2 in the morning. Diane's a 10. I'm loving this. Kelly, Las Vegas. Dean from Robbins, he's feeling a 10. Gary, Las Vegas. Val's a 10. Terry from Nashville. Christine, all the way in the Philippines. Jay's a 10. Hello from Virginia, from Marilyn. Tiffany, Atlanta, an 8. Oh, okay. Does that mean 8 o'clock, or does that mean you're feeling an 8? If you're feeling an 8, let's see if we can get that up to a 10. Christine's feeling 1,000. 10. Hilaire is a 10. Errol, like a 9. Okay, we'll see if we can get that. Yeah, we'll get that up to a 10. Yes, we got this. All right, so I just want to say massive, ginormous, humongous, gigantic to welcome to each and every one of you that are here today. So that's the co-authors, that are the people that are supporting the co-authors, everybody that is watching the replay as well. Thank you to you. And also a special mention to the back end team. So from the co-authors to the back end team, there's been blood, there's been sweat, there's been tears. Okay, that might be a lie. I don't know if there was any blood, but we will find out today. So we are here for Permission to Flourish. Is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Okay, this must be number 6, and then we've got number 7 coming up. So that's 6, 7. Okay, all right, sorry, that's a young person's joke. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. That's really bad. So, Permission to Flourish 6, rise above, grow forward, and flourish always. So this is about, you know, people that have been through challenges, tribulations, and they've been able to find that strength and that resilience to be able to get through it. So I am super excited to hear everybody's stories today. And before I introduce 𝗦𝗘𝗥𝗏𝗏, for those of you that that weren't here before, currently we are in the top 10 in America for bestseller. So how cool is that? How cool is? Okay, yeah, actually, let's give it up. Let's give it up. Don't you know? Alrighty, so today we're probably going to go for anywhere between 60 minutes, but probably up to about 90 minutes. We want to get through all the co-authors. 𝗦𝗘𝗥𝗏𝗏's going to be asking them some questions, and we're going to find out more about their chapter. Oh, we've got Chad in the house as well. Hello, Chad. Great to see you. We've got Gary, we've got Melanie, we've got Sonia. Oh, this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. Alrighty, so I think it's about that time. So we won't play a game yet. We might play one in a bit. I'm just conscious of time. So I am going to hand over to, before I do that, she is going to hate me because she told me not to throw her under the bus. But none of us would have been here today if it wasn't for Jay Cornell. And did you know that it was Jay's birthday on the 1st? Let's give it up to Jay. I don't have a happy birthday song, but we'll do the pump it up song. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know? Okay, guys and girls, I am in trouble now. I'm in big trouble. I'm in big trouble. All right, so I want to hand over to the marvelous, the magnificent 𝗦𝗘𝗦𝗏, my partner in crime. And for the record, we haven't committed any crimes. Or if our crimes are, helping people share their story, then yes, we are guilty. Lock us up. All right, so 𝗦𝗘𝗏, I'm going to hand over to you for the very first person. And I know for that person, for that co-author, it is 2 in the morning. So over to you, 𝗦𝗘𝗏.
Thank you, Ray. So let me introduce you. The very first co-author of our PTF series this time is Valeria. So let's give her an applause. Hello, I should say good morning, isn't it? Because it's about to be morning for you.
2:08 in the morning, but 10 out of 10 I'm feeling. So yeah, and to be the inaugurational voice, it's amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your dedication to be here. So in a short sentence, could you please introduce yourself? Who you are, what you do?
Long life learner, that's why I'm here. I'm proud Ukrainian living in Norway. I am a PhD researcher in diversity management for industrial sustainable projects, awarded podcast host, devoted mother of 2 beautiful children, and yes, I hope also inspiring a voice which is advocating for neurodiversity, because I'm neurodivergent myself, and this is my mission in the world, which I'm now walking and talking. And thank you so much for giving me this tremendously amazing opportunity to share my story and my heart with the audience.
Your chapter, From OCD to PhD, 5E, the journey between patient and doctor. So what's your inspiration behind this story, and what is the key message that you want the readers to get?
Thank you so much, 𝗦𝗘𝗏. First of all, I want to say how deeply I'm grateful and honored to be part of this beautiful book and this inspiring community of voices. So thank you for my co-author, and of course the whole team behind it. Amazing. I love it so much. So yes, when people ask me about my inspirational story, the answer is very not easy, but obvious. It's very personal. My chapter was born both from pain and transformation. For many years, I lived with severe OCD. There were moments really of hopelessness, where it was too much anxiety, too much depression, and overwhelming. And I truly believe there was something wrong with me, because I experienced panic, perfectionism, fear, exhaustion behind the smile that I was still keeping up. But through healing education, neuroscience, faith, and deep self-awareness, I began to understand something really profound. That maybe the weakness, which I believed all those years, also can contain something of the greatest part. Maybe it's my greatest strength. So the same mind which created all this fear, and anxiety and OCD, intrusive thoughts, they gave me pattern recognition, persistence, empathy, and the ability to deeply understand people and systems. And that's how this journey became. Really, it's led me from having just OCD, which I'm called now OC, as like no obsessive compulsive disorder, but obsessive compulsive superpowers, to PhD path and advocacy and leadership work focus on neurodiversity and human potential. That's why my story is called From OCD to PhD and 5E Enabler Special Method, how I have developed for self-leadership, and that how by self-empowerment you can make a ripple effect for your communities and people. So, and one message maybe because it's not just academical story, it's not just achievement alone, but I would like really to share my story, to spread the message about reclaim and human world. Because today still millions of neurodivergent people, they feel pressure to hide who they are in order to fit in of the system which is built for neurotypical people. So my mission is to help to change this narrative, this conversation, and to show that different minds are not broken minds. So my message, really one key message, that neurodiversity is not a weakness. It is cognitive mental uniqueness. It's not disability, but possibility or plausibility. And it's not disorder, it's disorder or different order. So thank you so much for listening. I hope the readers can enjoy my story, and thank you for allowing me to share my heart today. Thank you.
I love that you turn it into your superpower. Like that's what really like spot into my ears. And I'm so proud of you. Like the time that you reached out to us and then you want to start writing this and you did it so fast. Like I'm like, we did it today. We are launching it today already. Well, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, everyone give Aurelia applause. Let's move on to Miss Diane, my lovely friends right here. Her chapter is The Villain in the Mirror. Diane, welcome to the book launch that's finally happening. How are you doing?
I am great. Thank you for all of this, and I'm so excited to see this book in physical form. So
I
excited.
know, right?
Yes.
So could you please introduce yourself in short, like for anyone who have never met you before?
Absolutely. I'm Diane Burton. I live in Elizabethtown, Kentucky. I'm a coach, author, and speaker. I'm a wife. We've been married almost 51 years and 2 children, 2 grandchildren. And I help you release the lies that weigh you down.
The lies that weighed you down. Okay, so my first question to you, how do you break free from a toxic relationship with your own reflection? Because your chapter is about the villain in the mirror, right? And
Yes.
after the years of carrying this heavy weight of childhood bullying, how do you break free from that?
You know, 𝗦𝗘𝗢𝗓, the key is to discover the lies, to realize that the villain in the mirror is a liar, and to release those lies and find the truth. Because as you mentioned there, I was bullied all through school, and it was because I was overweight, and I believed the words that were spoken to me. And I finally realized they were lies.
Yeah. So if anyone haven't discovered that yet, you should read this chapter. So you will discover your villain in the mirror. It leads to this question though, and what happens to your life when you stop seeking the external validation? I know that many people like cannot maybe like carry on what their dreams, but like they're not sure because they want to validate something from externally. And finally realize that you are actually uniquely designed as a divine masterpiece.
Yes, once I was able to start releasing the lies and finding the truth, I discovered, you know what? One of the truths is that I am God's masterpiece from Ephesians 2:10, and that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, and God takes care of me, all of that from Psalm 139. And so that brings peace and relief, and it brings that release. That is a huge factor in everything I teach, is about release. And when that has happened, I get to be my authentic self. I get to be who God intended me to be, instead of being who I think others, the things that others said to me, and living up to that, instead of living up to what God created me to be. And once I let go of all that stuff from the past and started really paying attention to what God has said to me about who I am and whose I am, then I do get to be me. I get to be my authentic self, which then helps me to serve others with this authenticity and to then help them release their lies.
Amazing. So if you want to release the lies that you're seeing in the mirror, don't forget to check Diane's chapter. So everyone give Diane a round of applause. Don't you know? All right. The next co-author that I would like to introduce is Chad, and his chapter called How Trials Transform, Embracing the Power of Choice. So Chad, welcome to the book launch that's finally here.
Don't you know? Grateful to be here with you all. Thank you for having me.
Of course, absolutely. Could you please share a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you do in short, for anyone who never met you before?
Yes, so obviously my name's Chad. I'm a born and raised Southern Floridian, and I am a breathwork and embodiment coach. So what I help people do is essentially process not only emotion, tension, and stress that's stuck in their physical body, but also the conditions, the programs, the beliefs, all the things that are kind of all those subconscious layers that dictate often our how we think, speak, and act under the surface, right? So I help people process those things through specialized breathwork practices and then coach them through really integrating those to create the deepest change possible.
Deepest change possible. So from your chapter, can your greatest physical trials and the darkest battles with addiction actually become the very tools that fortify your life of purpose currently?
Yeah, for sure. They say that your greatest trials have the potential to turn into your greatest gifts, and that's definitely been the case in my life because it was the combination of debilitating knee injuries combined with addiction as a teenager that I was essentially lost, hopeless, just searching for something. And that really drove me to mindful practices of yoga, meditation, and breath work, which essentially saved my life, Um, they showed me that there were tools, there were things that, could provide relief that were healthy mechanisms. One thing that I really learned is that growing up the way that I did, probably like many of us, is often didn't even have a vocabulary to express our struggles, express our needs. For those of us that grew up in, households with alcoholic parents, even dissociative parents, where there was never anything discussed about, what's going on with you, what are your challenges? It was always just perform, behave, shut up, sit down, and be quiet, right? So obviously that very quickly develops patterns of isolation and numbing, coping through any means necessary. So really learning that it's okay to feel things and being able to have tools and mechanisms to sit with those things and understand that it's not punishment. It's not necessarily evil or bad. It's just my body trying to tell me the ways that it has needs and requires support. So just being able to, understand that for myself and obviously express it to the world around me.
That's amazing. Allow yourself to feel. So what if you could overcome the deeply rooted anger or the numbness that you simply learn this to harness the transformative power? How do you do that? What is the choice that you make?
Mm. Yeah, something that I've learned is everything that we feel, all the ways that people lash out and anger, frustration, spite, it's all just our nervous system trying to survive. Like we're kind of constantly being triggered by the world around us because we have unprocessed grief, we have unprocessed pain, and essentially, when those things aren't processed, people are almost always speaking, living, and acting from that pain rather than their truth. So for me, really approaching that with loving compassion, something like my addiction, obviously, I ended up in a lot of cycles of shame, hating myself. Why don't I know better? And it wasn't until I could begin to approach myself with a loving kindness and just understanding that my addiction was just a result of my nervous system doing what it needed to survive certain situations, right? And that got me through those situations, right? It allowed me to live through them. And addiction really is a survival mechanism because there's a lot of things that we go through that without coping or numbing in some certain way, we wouldn't be able to like take the pain of it, there's certain things, deep traumas that our thinking mind will completely push out of our awareness, right? To where people don't even remember severe trauma. And again, that's their nervous system doing anything it can just to protect them, right? So really approaching these things with really a loving, compassionate awareness and kindness, so that we can release the shame and be able to really process these things. Because when we're forcing things down with shame and guilt and this constant negative talk about ourselves, then we're never really going to be able to release and process these things. That's become my belief anyway.
Amazing. So anyone who watched this or watched the replay, if you want to know how to embracing your powers of choice, don't forget to check Chat's chapter. So everyone give Chat a round of applause. All right, before we carry on, asking our co-author, I will hand over to Mr. Dre, Dr. Dre, actually, to share about how and where to buy the Kindle ebooks and any giveaway from the co-authors. Over to you, Dre.
Thank you, 𝗦𝗘𝗢𝗢. How great was that? Who is feeling inspired? Is it just me or is everyone? Okay, just me. Okay, a few of you. And also, I want to say welcome to everybody that's turned up late. What I forgot to mention is that the co-authors have been kind enough to donate gifts and prizes. How amazing is that? Not amazing? Amazing? Yo, okay, it's amazing, amazing, amazing. So I just want to clarify the difference between the gifts and the prizes. So everybody that is on this call will receive a gift, so a virtual goodie bag, which we'll give out in a few days' time. And for the prizes, we're going to do a prize draw like next week. So to give you an example of the types of prizes that you can win. So if you're here now, if you comment and you're watching the replay, you can also be entered into the draw. So for instance, one of my favorite people in the world, Elisa James, who will be up shortly, she's going to offer a VIP Find Your Authentic Voice of Self-Expression, which is a 60-minute coaching session. Can I, Elisa, can I win that or just, no? Okay. So yeah, all right, so which is amazing. And so lots of the co-authors have done that. So we want to thank you. And probably in about 20 minutes time, because we're going really good for time, we'll do a competition. So for the people that are in this Zoom room, you can win a prize, which we will donate as well. All right, Christine, can I get you to share your screen? And I just want to show everybody where you can purchase the book. So Christine has put the link for the ebook and the physical book from Amazon into the chat screen, and she'll do that throughout. So there is where that you can buy the book. And who's bought the book already? Okay, 2 people, 3 people. All right, what I want you to do now is if you click on that link, and then there might be an orange button that says buy now with 1 click. Before we started this, we were number 10 in the bestseller list. So hopefully within the next 24 hours, we can get to number 1 in multiple categories but I'm not putting any pressure on you. I'm not. All right, so press that. You can get an ebook, which would be just under $1, or you can buy a physical copy of the book so you can actually hold it and feel it and be inspired by all of these stories. All right, has everybody done that? Okay, everybody's working on that. And then what I'm going to do is buy my copy as well. So, oh, actually, something that I forgot to mention as well is if you have an old copy or an old version of the Kindle, so you know one of those ones from like 1923, one of the first copies of the Kindles, or maybe it's the, like the stone copies. Those early versions won't work. So you need to make sure if your Kindle, you can get a free online version. So for me, I've got 3 Amazon accounts. Don't judge me. I've got one in England, one in Australia, and one in America. But the only one that seems to work for me is the Australian one. So if you have multiple accounts, make sure that you choose the right one. Alrighty, so, all right, it's one of my favorite people that are up next. I'm going to hand over to the marvelous, to the magnificent, to the super sensational. That's right. Who? 𝗦𝗘𝗥𝗡𝗦. All right, let's give it back up for 𝗦𝗘𝗥𝗡𝗦.
Thank you, Dre. Oh, you were frozen. All right, so this one also your favorite person in the world as well. I would like to introduce you all to Elisa James and her chapter named The Dream That Brought Me Back to Love. So Elisa, welcome to the book launch. I know that you have been doing this many times, but never get bored, isn't it?
No, I always love being part of this. Can you hear me okay? I've just plugged in a brand new mic.
It sounds amazing.
Perfect.
All right.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. It's been such an honor to be part of the whole series. It's been wonderful to see the growth of the whole business that you guys have built. It's just amazing.
Oh, we appreciate you and thank you for have been all around and support us for every project that we have been doing.
You're very welcome. It's my pleasure.
So could you please introduce yourself in short in case anyone have never met you before?
Of course. Hi everyone. For those of you who have not met me, my name is Elisa James and I'm an executive voice and presentation coach. I coach executives from all over the world to help them speak with clarity, confidence, and conviction so they can get that leadership position that they really want to.
I know that this chapter of you that is about the dream that brought you back to love. I mean, how do you rebuild your identity and financial independence from scratch after discovering your life has been built on a devastating betrayal?
Oh my goodness, yes, this is a big one. And it's really interesting because as a professional voice user, I was a singer and an actress for more than 35 years. And I know it sounds very strange, but I was very disconnected from my voice for most of my career. I mean, it sounds very strange for me to hear those words now. But when I was doing my job up on the stage or on camera in front of thousands and thousands of people, I was just singing without thinking. Do you know what I mean? It was just on autopilot. I knew all the words, I knew the melodies, I just did it. It was part of my job and I walked off. I realized I was a little unconscious during especially those formative years of my 20s and 30s. Now, when I, when I, in my late 20s, met a man that felt like to me, he was a light. He felt like he was a real light and he was really confident and lots of bravado, one of those men's men. I thought, wow, that's such strong masculine energy. It was very attractive to me because at the time I was a very young, insecure, shy girl who got by on the stage because I just put my performance hat on. I'd, do my rah, rah, rah and do as if I was confident. And I got away with that for a very long time. But I didn't realize that lack of confidence and belief in myself was seeping through every area of my life, including my relationships. So unbeknownst to me, I was married very shortly afterwards to a narcissist who moved me overseas to Europe because we had a really great career in Europe. But I didn't realize I was becoming a boiled frog. Do you know that proverbial, that expression that we all say, we're a boiled frog? I had no idea. I started out as this, looking confident person, moved to a country where I didn't speak the language, didn't know the banking system, didn't know how to sign contracts or call people. I had to learn everything from scratch in another language. It was a very huge change for me. So eventually, because his family was from that country in Holland, I allowed him to take over various parts of my life, and I didn't realize that I'd lost control. Then over time, I didn't know how to pay bills anymore. It sounds really dumb because I was a very independent teen and young person in my 20s. I was raising a child on my own. I was very independent. I knew everything I knew how to do stuff, but somehow I let it all go. And then when it all crashed and burned down because of one message on Facebook, from 1 second to the next, my life was like over. It felt like it was over. The rug was pulled out from under my feet. I lost the country that I lived in, my work, my job, my business, the house that I lived in, my car, my pets, everything went, everything. And I flew back to Australia with my tail between my legs, not knowing who the hell I was or how to even rebuild a life from scratch. Literally everything that I knew was gone, including the money that was regularly coming into my bank account because of the businesses that we'd built overseas. So I had to really start to look at, hang on, who am I without all those labels, without him, without labeling myself as a singer? Who was I? I realized that I didn't allow myself to have a voice at home, and that's why he was allowed to take over. So I really had to start from scratch. And I'm glad, of course, in hindsight, even though that was the worst thing that happened to me, I had to learn how to rebuild and become the person that I was meant to be, which I started out as, but lost my way. And I'm sure that other people can really understand what it is to lose your way, because sometimes we do. We have to find ourselves back to us. And that was my journey for the next 2 years. So I'm really glad that I could share that in the book.
Yeah, I could really relate to that. I have like a similar experience as well. So when you say about that, I got my chill. Like I still like my hair is still standing up. Yeah, so because of that, how can you say that it is possible for a single powerful dream to guide you back to your true self and also profound love you thought that was lost decades ago?
Oh my goodness, yes. Without giving the chapter away too much.
Yes, please.
Because when people read the chapter, it's one of those chapters or stories that I tell people and they go, what? That's just like a movie. That doesn't even sound real. If somebody had told me that, exactly what happened to me, I go, yeah, right. Pull the other one. Like yank the chain. But here's what happened. I won't tell you the whole thing because it was a very special moment. But I had to, one of my part of my journey in that 2 years was self-healing, going to self-development workshops, working on me, journaling, breath work, fitness, exercise, getting rid of anger, letting go. So there's a lot of people here in that space that, this is really important work. I had to do all that work. Then when I went to bed that night and had that incredible life-altering dream, literally life-altering, I basically handed it over to God. And I said, this chapter in my life, I just finished a tour of Australia doing Menopause the Musical, which was a funny musical comedy that I was in for a very long time. I closed that chapter. I shut down the show. I went to bed thinking, now what? So I handed it over to God and I said, you know what? I want to grow. I want to learn. I want to become a better person. I want to step into who I am meant to be, whatever that looks like. So tomorrow is a new chapter. I begin a new chapter in my life and let's see where that takes me. That's when the dream happened. It was like, oh, and then everything changed. from that,
Okay.
literally from that moment forward. It was craziest thing that's ever happened to me, honestly.
So if anyone want to know more after the dream happens, you need to read Elysa's chapters, of course. So if you haven't purchased, the link is in the chat and also in the comment if you watch the replay. So Elysa, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're
Please
very welcome.
give Elysa loud applause.
Thank you.
Oh, the music is not happening, Dre.
No, it's all silent on our end. Yes, it's Dre dancing to the invisible music. Well, we
He
love
has a
it. We're
beat in his
enjoying your
heart.
entertainment.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. It's because we shared different screens, but I was having fun anyway. So yeah, appreciate you so much.
Yeah, we got you. You got the music beats already. Okay, thank you, Elysa. So next person, I would like to introduce Ariel. Where's Ariel?
Hi. I don't know if you can see me.
Okay, I can see you now. So Ariel, thank you so much for joining. I know that this is the very first time you're doing the book launch party.
Yes, I am.
We are very excited to have you here. So your chapter is about finding her identity in the midst of the pain. How do you hold on to faith and find your true identity when faced with the devastating silent pain of repeated pregnancy loss and medical diagnosis?
Oh my goodness. My support system was my husband, because we did a lot of it by ourselves. We had our family, they knew about it later. We didn't talk to them about the loss, directly after, most of the time. And without having him around to be able to lift me up, to be able to lift me up on the days where I couldn't get out of bed, that was so sorry, y'all. But having that support to be able to come home and talk about it and be loved on and lifted up, and told it wasn't my fault, because it was not my fault. But as a mom, you feel that. That's all you ever feel, is that everything is your fault. So saying a lot. My husband really helped keep me out of the shadows, and even whenever my depression did get really bad, because there for a while it did, I became numb, and I chose alcohol and other forms of relief to try and get away from everything that I was going through. But overall, we were able to overcome so much in those several years that we had to go through what we did. And then, and it was breathtaking. Literally, my breath was stolen every time, until we were able to go to a doctor's appointment and have a heartbeat. And so now I have two. And they're making a lot of noise right now, but they are, all three of them now are probably my biggest support system that I have.
Just want to share with you that we love you, and everyone's sending hug and support to you in the chat right now. We are always with you, and also thank you so much for sharing this story that's very dear to your heart. I know that it's very difficult for you to write because you share with us when we did the teaser interview. I know that many moms also experience that, and with your story, it would give a lot of impact that how people can relate. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Yes, ma'am.
I would like you to introduce yourself in short. I don't want you to cry anymore because everyone's gonna cry after you. So let's share who you are, what you do, in case anyone
Hi.
have never met you before.
I'm Ariel Nicholas, and I am a stay-at-home mom to my two wonderful children, and I am a photographer on the side. I spend my days just trying to raise them up how God would have us raise them and be wonderful little human beings.
If you want to check in the chapter, Ariel also share her work in that as well. So it's amazing. Like her work is amazing. Apart from being mom, she also an amazing mom. So thank you so much. Please give round of applause for Ariel. Next person is my dear friends as well. Let's welcome Gloria Holden.
Hello,
Hello. I cannot see you yet. Hold on.
I'm here.
I know you are there, but somewhere in my screen. Uh-oh. All right, here you are. So, Gloria, thank you so much for joining the book launch. Could you tell
I'm
us a
happy to
little
be
bit?
here. I didn't know what to expect, so this
Yeah,
has been
you
a
have no
very
need to
pleasant
expect
surprise.
anything. Just be yourself. So, can you tell us a little bit who you are, what you do in a short sentence?
Maybe 3 sentences.
Okay.
I live north of Atlanta, Georgia, surrounded by a very large and loving family. Everything I do is influenced by my faith. In addition to being a musician and a new author, I work with business owners and CEOs that are running companies they built into something real, but they've hit a wall because every decision runs through them. The business works, but only because they're in the middle of everything. So I come in as a fractional COO, but I work differently. And even what I do in that context kind of is in line with my chapter in the book, because instead of managing their team or building their systems, my approach is all about asking them questions about what they can't see from inside their work. Because I know the right question, when it gets asked, most of their problems are going to be a lot clearer.
So that's why your chapter is also a question. What if?
Exactly.
So, what if an unexpected job termination is actually the universe way of releasing you from an unfulfilling path and pushing you towards your true purpose?
Yeah, I have to change that terminology a little bit because I believe it was actually God. And I'm the first to acknowledge that. I had a scenario where I was a director for a large company and just got one of those phone calls that you never expect. And it's like, okay, I know this wasn't about how I did the job. So are you protecting me from something? And you start asking questions, but I've learned the value of asking the right questions.
And how can you simply push like the what if question that would open doors for any possibility, confidence, or self-worth that you never even know that it exists?
It really is a mindset. I think so many times people get into the mode of asking why. They don't understand why things happened the way they did. Why is this happening to me? And I've kind of taken why out of my vocabulary because I know there's an upgrade of some sort coming, because God promised that He works all things together for my good. And so anything that comes my way, it's like, okay, where are we headed now? I don't know what the next open door is, but it is an upgrade.
So if
It's
anyone wants,
just it's a different filter than I think most people tend to put on things.
Different filter that most people tend to put it on things. All right. So if anyone want to know how to upgrade with the questions, you have to read Gloria's chapter. So everyone give Gloria a round of applause. Next co-authors that I would like to introduce is Kelly.
Hello, hello, hello.
So we met last year on an event, and now I get to introduce you as a co-author as well. I'm so excited. So in short, could you please introduce yourself, who you are, what you do?
Yes, Kelly Franklin Nelson. I am a leadership strategist and performance coach. Basically, leaders come to me when they are ready to uncover their hidden performance gaps. They've hit a plateau, they're trying to get to the next level, and they are not sure what's holding them back. So I help them work through that. And a lot of that work is personal first.
So your chapters name Fired, Favored, and Flourishing. How can the shock of being unexpectedly fired actually become the catalyst you need to stop playing small and start creating the life that you truly desire?
Yeah, so first of all, my chapter is named Fired, Favored, and Flourishing. Oh my. You can't forget the oh my, okay? That's
sorry.
very important, 𝗦𝗘𝗢𝗢. And the reason that the oh my is there, right, is because, and so when you read the chapter, if there's a play on the Wiz or the Wizard of Oz, whichever version you're into, but there's a play on that, right? Lions and tigers and bears, oh my. And that's exactly what was happening at the time that I got fired. I was like, oh my, what is happening? What is going on, right? And so it was a shock at first. Obviously, nobody wants to get fired. And I was in a comfort space. I was really in my comfort zone, and I probably would have never moved. I would have never gotten out of that until retirement. And that really was the plan, right? Like, I'll ride this out, even though I wasn't happy. I wanted more. I wanted to experience lots more things. And that pushed me into getting out of that comfort zone that I was locked in for 25 plus years.
Of course. That's a real oh my. Yeah, I missed that part, which is very important. And you know, after that happens, how profound the truth that you uncover that your own abandoned dreams, and how can you step away from the noise that takes the intentionally pause that give you move forward?
Yeah, so my pause was forced on me. However, in that pause, it gave me the space to really think, to really do some self-discovery work, to really kind of sit with myself and say, like, okay, Kelly, what do you really want? Okay, what's been preventing you from doing what you truly want to do, or from aligning, your personal desires with your professional goals? And so that time, even though I didn't want it, I wanted it, but I didn't want it like that, right? Even though it didn't happen the way I wanted it to, it allowed me to kind of just really take a step back. And so now I coach leaders, but I also do it myself. Now I do intentional pauses because I see how powerful they can be. And when you okay, so I'm not talking about this weekend, I'm going to, do nothing. I'm not talking about, this afternoon after work, I'm just not going to do anything and I'm going to sit with myself. I'm talking about like a real pause, like, hey, I'm going to take a week off and I'm going to really sit with myself and I'm going to ask myself some questions and I'm going to listen to those answers and then I'm going to make another move. So those intentional pauses, I believe, are very important for your growth, for your development, just for you to kind of get out of the noise of the everyday, out of the noise for what other people are telling you you should be and should do. All of the things that we carry with us. I have some amazing co-authors that have talked about some of this stuff, right? But all of that baggage, it allows you to kind of just step away and get some clarity, right?
Yeah, that's true. So if anyone want to know how to do intentional pause and also want to know how after you got fired and being favored and also flourishing, oh my, you have to read Kelly chapter. So give a round of applause for Kelly. All right, so I will hand over to my partner in crimes over here, Mr. Dre, to carry on.
How great was that? So at the very beginning, some of you said that you were feeling, I think I saw an 8 out of 10, a 9 out of 10. Are we yet a 10 out of 10? Are we all a 10 out of 10? No? Okay, all right, we've still got time. We've still got time. So for everybody that's watching the replay, in the comments, you can press the link. You can buy a copy of the physical book or an ebook copy, and you'd help support all of us to become a #1 best-selling author, hopefully in multiple categories. And what I'm going to do, we're not going to have a game just yet, but what I would like to do at the end is open it up to the audience. So if anyone's got any questions for any of the co-authors, they can answer. And then I'd love to go around to each of the co-authors that are still on the call, and then you can tell us about your gifts and your prizes. And if we've got enough people, then we'll give out some prizes as well. Does that sound amazing, or does that sound amazing? That sounds amazing. I knew you were going to say that. All right, back over to marvelous, magnificent. Actually, do you know what? Just want to say, with the team that we've got is unbelievable. I'm going to thank them at the end, but like 𝗦𝗃𝗏 is like such, she can do so many things, and she is an absolute engine, and we couldn't do this without her. So back over to my partner in crime, the marvelous, the magnificent 𝗦𝗃𝗏.
Don't you know? Thank you, Ray. Thank you so much for the good words. Don't make me shy. I cannot carry on speaking. All right, so next person that I would like to introduce everyone is Lee Smith. Where is Lee? Don't you know? Hi, Lee. How are you doing?
Hi, 𝗦𝗃𝗏. I'm doing fantastic. Thank you. Great to be here with you and everybody else.
Indeed, likewise. So, in short, can you please introduce yourself, who you are, what you do?
Yes. Hello, everybody. I am Lee Smith. Yes, it is spelled L-Y. Think differently, and you'll always remember how to say it, or think of it as love yourself, and that's the way it's spelled. I am a self-leadership strategist with Upcycle Coaching, and I make it possible to reframe imposter syndrome into actionable confidence with my proven 5-step method, and I do that for high-achieving women.
I love it. I love it that you always like have the abbreviation and then you give the meaning to it, that it's so easy to remember. So your chapter is named Remember That Feeling? Let's go chasing that. How have you lost your true identity beneath the everyday label of like just a wife or just a mom? And how can you rediscover what makes you feel truly alive?
Yes, if you are not waking up each morning with excitement and enthusiasm for the day, if you're finding yourself waking up like, oh, that alarm clock just smashed it already. Is it really another day? And it's coming up with more dread, or just another day, like you're just going through the motions. You might be like how I was as a reactor the day I found myself on a beach in Hawaii, surrounded by the people I love, my family, the people I love most, looking out on this beautiful sapphire jewel horizon, and not experiencing the feeling of the moment. It's a moment when we should feel totally alive. And in that particular moment, I wasn't. I was a numb shell of a woman covered in what I call just like 𝗦𝗘𝗏 was saying, right? I was just a mom. I was just a stay-at-home mom. I was just a wife. I was just a daughter, just a sister. And none of us here are just a, include whatever label you want. That's not who we really are. And when we can take that moment to be present in the here and now, because the truth is that is all we have, the next heartbeat is not guaranteed. It is not automatically promised to you. So with the heartbeat and the breath and the pulse that you have, are you fully alive? So ask yourself that question. Am I just heart beating involuntarily and just going through the motions, or am I just taking every moment and living it to my best?
That's amazing. Yeah, sometimes that you wouldn't really know until something hits you, right? That's something that you need to figure out yourself. But what could you achieve if you stop living in a quiet desperation and choose like a one single word that can anchor your joy and started chasing your childhood dreams again?
Yes. I'm going to take this moment to share how a couple of weeks ago I was on a women's retreat, and one of the facilitators gave us a blank piece of paper. And I loved the analogy that she shared because it was a representation of how we come into the world. We come into the world as an infant with nothing, right? We barely have our labels. It's like as we come to, it's like, oh, it's a boy, or oh, it's a girl, and that's like our very first label. And we're not even fully aware of it yet. And then other people around us are putting other labels, descriptions, and whatnot. And that's what's poured into us, right? But when we come in with nothing, what does that mean? That blank piece of paper, it was nothing. And at the exact same time, it was everything. It was representation of limitless potential. Anything is possible. And that is who we are as human beings. That we don't have to be those labels of the just this and just that. Even if those labels were put on us by other people, I challenge you to take a moment to grab a mirror, or if it's your bathroom mirror, and take a look at yourself, an honest look at yourself, human to human, even though it's a reflection of you. And can you see yourself for who you really are? And make that eye contact with yourself. Sadly, I have met someone who have not been able to do that. And through my work, that's the transformation that we made happen. But for those of you who can really see yourself, we're not looking at ourselves for the vanity. We're not looking at, oh my gosh, there's a gray hair. Oh, there's some laugh lines there. We're not looking at that at all. We're looking at the human being and that potential of maybe you came from nothing, but you have everything within you that is possible. So to become a child again, maybe get in touch with your own inner child like I did and think about, what makes me happy? What is fun for me? What makes me come alive? What is that part of life that I love doing so much that I could just jump out of bed with excitement for that? And then I challenge you to do whatever you can to make it possible to go do that, because we need more people who come alive.
Yeah, many people say about gray hair. I also have gray hair. I need to let go of it as well. That I indeed agree with all of you ladies. So everyone, please give Lee round of applause. Thank you so much, and look forward to read your chapter.
Thank you, Lydia.
Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up.
So next person, okay, I met her in Seattle as well. Hilary, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
So
Yes,
could you
I'm
please
here.
okay, I saw you now. Hi, Jay, say
Hi.
hi. Could you please introduce yourself in short, who you are, what you do?
Oh, I'm 𝗕𝗢𝗢𝗡𝗦, and I'm a residential real estate salesperson, and I'm also an artist in the Gig Harbor, Seattle, Tacoma area.
All right, so your chapter is about it started with a missing person. That's like very interesting. How do you navigate overwhelming emotional and physical toll of stepping into help a lifelong friend who is fading into the shadows of dementia?
Yes, it was, she went missing for a few days, and she's also an artist friend. So we have quite a few friends in common. We call them our art sisters. She was missing for a few days, and normally she calls, or someone calls her every day to make sure she's okay, because her husband had died 10 years prior, and she was living here alone in Gig Harbor area without any immediate family. All her family was out of state, and so we kept close tabs on her. And then all of a sudden she went missing. We ended up finding her in the police station, and her car was gone, and the police told us she had had a car accident, and it was a head-on collision, and she didn't remember any of it. She didn't know how she got there, why she was even at the police station, nothing. So one of her other art friends, went ahead and took her home and started looking into things, and it turned out her car insurance had been expired. So she had this accident with no insurance, and we ended up for some reason she had her keys with her, but we didn't know where the car was, and it didn't run anyway. But we decided to take the car away from her, because this is not something that should be happening, and until we figured out the car insurance and actually her state. So we kind of came all together as a bunch of friends and looked after her, because she had no one to do that for her, and no one was noticing her rapid decline. We kind of noticed the memory issues here and there, and didn't think things were right, but we had never really seen the condition of her house, so we weren't really putting things together. And then we got to see the condition of her house and how she was living after this incident happened, and we were making sure that she had food, and we were making meals for her. And it was very sobering to see how this could happen to someone that was actually very vibrant in the community and no longer was. And her friends didn't even know how bad it was, much less her family didn't know either. So we called the family, and the family said, well, we were just up there and we didn't notice anything. It was like, you didn't notice anything? How could you not notice? I won't go into it, but there was quite a few awful things that were going on in the house. And so anyway, we talked the family into coming up and taking a look and reevaluating the situation, because they just couldn't see what we were talking about. And they came up and they realized that she had definitely changed rapidly. And so they ended up taking her back to California, closer to family. And they ended up having her put in an Alzheimer's unit. But all her assets were frozen. So we couldn't pay her bills. We couldn't pay her insurance, nothing, because everything was frozen because of this incident. And her financial planner and her family attorney got wind of what had happened, and that's how everything got frozen. So it was like, wow, how things can go south really, really fast. And even if you do have a support system around you, things can fall through the loopholes. So all of us were very emotionally taken back by this situation. And she was a hoarder. That was part of the issue. And we had to go through all of her stuff and figure out what to do with it. And I mean, it was very sobering for all of us. It's like, no, I'm not accumulating any more stuff. It was quite the emotional roller coaster. And then I ended up being her real estate agent. And here I was in the room and look at me, and she'd go, "Who's that?" She didn't know who I was. And this is somebody that I had seen for at least once a week for years. And that was hard to take, because here I was taking care of her home and getting it ready for sale, fixing all the damage that had happened over the years to get it on the market, and then getting rid of all of her things because her family couldn't be up here to do that. And so here I am feeling all kinds of emotion and guilt for the family, because here I am distributing all of her stuff. And it was like, God, how do I handle this emotionally? So real estate is more than just a career for me. It's kind of an act of kindness and friendship and stewardship, and it's hard to explain.
Thank you so much for sharing this dearest to your heart story here. I mean, it's really start from a missing person for real. So if
Yes.
anyone want to know more of the story, you have to read this chapter then. So everyone give Hyria a round of applause. Next in the house is Mr. Dean. Hello.
Hey,
How are you doing?
I am fantastic. Thank you.
So, thank you. Thank you for joining. Could you please introduce yourself, just in short, who you are, what you do, please?
Yeah. First, though, I just want to say thank you for all the work that you guys are doing. Putting all these stories together and curating it has been amazing. There's just so many similarities that each one of us has, and you guys made it so much fun and so easy. I mean, there were a few edits I think we had, right? But just thank you for doing that. But yeah, I was a career engineer that I've turned into a speaker, trainer, coach. So I work with organizations and ambitious leaders to build teams that take ownership, solve problems, and act without constant direction. And so really being able to help organizations build teams and drive real growth within the organization. Primarily because what I see in the teams that I developed and the people that I worked with was unlimited potential. I believe in the potential of people, and being able to tap into that and help people to do that, that's what I just love doing that all day long.
100%. So your chapter name is We All Run Races. I mean, how do you push past the screaming limits of your own mind and body to achieve physical feats that once seems utterly impossible?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. We all run races as sort of a metaphor because for me it was a real races, right? I was running, and I'd never really ran before. I did in high school, and I remember having to run 2 miles in high school, and it was felt like it was the marathon, right? I'm like, I didn't want to do this, right? And we had to do it in like 10 minutes or something. I can't remember how. It was slow, right? But I think so many times we live inside of our comfort zone. And for me, this was really about how do I push past those limits? How do I step outside of that comfort zone to do something beyond what I believe is capable, right? And believing in myself, right? And so you know, what I found as I started running was the more I ran, it shifted from physical, because physically your body will start to adapt, and it became to mental, as you had to actually control your thoughts. And so some of it for me was really getting out and running, and I would just think about something other than running. It became a place for me to decompress, to think about work, to think about, you know, whatever it was, to enjoy the beauty of nature as I was running around, but really just to take my mind off of that physical pain or whatever that I was going through, listening to my body, of course, to make sure that I wasn't doing something that was really harmful to my body. But it's getting out there and doing that. And I think the one funny, I don't want to give the stories away, but I think the one funniest thing when I was running was this idea that as I'm running, I hit a speed bump. I mean, you think of hitting a speed bump in a car, right? But I literally hit a speed bump as I was running, right? It was sort of dark and I couldn't see it. And I rolled, and it was this instant of like disbelief of like, did I really just do that? But it was this decision point. We have these decision points so many times in thinking about, am I going to keep going? And I'll let you read the story to find out what happened after that speed bump. But, you know, it becomes one of those decision points that we have to choose. We have to choose what we want.
We indeed have to choose what we want. So if you want to know more the story after the speed bump, read Dean's chapter. So everyone give Dean's round of applause. Don't you know? Last but not least, you have to talk about this. Please welcome 𝗕𝗓𝗄𝗄. Don't you know? Okay, Jay, thank you so much for making this series happen for many books already, and we're gonna keep going. You have wrote a chapter that's really dear to your heart. So don't cry, but I have a question for you. Oh, before that, please introduce yourself, who you are, what you do in short, please.
𝗕𝗓𝗄𝗄, and I just love helping people.
That's short and sweet. Okay, my question to you about your chapter, The Power of the Dash. When you consider the dash between your birth and death, are you truly living a life of intention, present, and unconditional love?
You know, had you asked me this question 5 years ago, I would have been like, whatever, it is what it is, you know? But in 2011, you know, when we became empty nesters, well, 2011 is when my daughter, she went off to the military and my son was in high school. So they didn't need us anymore, right? And Snoopy came into our lives, and that was that first day of 2011. And then, you know, with his passing in February this year, that was his end. And so it was that dash, and it was so powerful because I remember one of the ladies that Gloria and I were working with and we were presenting with, she always talks about the dash and the power of it. And that was just like, that just came to my mind when Snoopy's passing, is like, what are we doing with that little dash in our lives? Are we truly living with intention? And since that day, in fact, 6 weeks later, my nephew, 17 years old, passed away. And that dash has just continued to remain so powerful in my life. And so everything that I'm doing, I want to live with intention, leave a legacy, and build something more to leave those memories. And it's not about the money. It's not about the power. It's not about a title. It's what is that I'm leaving to help people, to make those connections, to help their dreams come true, putting pen to paper to get their stories out. And it's truly living with intention. And it's all about really being just humble and just giving, because at the end of the day, all the materialistic things that we see and we have, we can't take it with us. So what are we doing with our soul and moving on to that next phase in our lives? And all of this is new to me. And yes, I will not cry. I will try not to, but yeah, it's just been very interesting for me these last few months. So yeah, thanks.
We are always with you, Jay. And yeah, thank you for letting us, the whole team, to be a part of every project that we do, because we really get to help people, and we are so appreciate and feeling really good about that. Dre, do you have any question to ask Jay as well?
No, I think I've already embarrassed her with saying that it was her birthday and she didn't want me to, and I was we have to celebrate. So
I will
the only
share that. I will put it out there. The reason why I no longer celebrate my day is because it's the same birthday as Snoopy. So for me, that's his celebration of life. For me, it's just another day now. And how am I going to make it better for others as a remembrance and tribute to him for being the support for so many of us in my family and friends.
Love that. Yeah, thank you, Jay. All I want to say really is, Jay, none of this would have been possible without you. And for people that don't know you that well, you've got like the biggest heart, and you do so much for the community, which a lot of people don't know about, especially young people and other people that are less fortunate as well. So from all of us in the Zoom room and watching the replay, we just want to say a massive, ginormous, humongous, gigantic, huge thank you to you for everything that you do. And then what I would love to do, because we've probably got about 10-ish, 12-ish minutes, is open it up to the audience. Do any of you have any questions either for Jay, Dean, Gloria, Kelly, Ariel, Hala, Lee, Chad? Lisa has gone. Who else have we still got here? And I think the other authors have gone. Let us know if you've got any questions for any of the specific authors. If not, what we can do is go around the room, and then I want to find out about some of those gifts or prizes that are possible. And if we've got time, we might have a quick game. So if you want to win a prize like now, then we can do that. All right. So I'm going to do a countdown because there doesn't seem to be any questions in the chat screen, or it might be broken, or I might be frozen. I might be talking to myself. No? All right, let's look. Okay, so Gary says, I enjoyed listening to all of the authors. Kathy says, happy birthday. Marilyn says, happy birthday. Jay says, this was amazing. Thank you to all who joined us. All right, I'm going to do the countdown. If there's no questions, forever hold your peace. All right, 5. Any questions? 4. Any questions? 3, 2, 1.8, 1.6, 1.2. All right, we are done. Diddly done on the question. So first up, I am going to call up Dean. Put you on the spot. So we'll go Dean, Kelly, Ariel, and then Hala. Do you have any, are you donating any, I can't remember, any sort of gifts or prizes for anybody?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So for 5 people out there that email me, how about this? Email me at dean@coachingwithdean. The first 5 people that do that get my training on purpose, vision, goals, and a half-hour strategy session.
How generous is that? Wait, everybody don't do it. Let me do it first. Let me do it first. Let me do it first. Wow, how generous is that? All right, so just again, Dean, can you say what your email address is? Look at everybody typing so fast. Look at that. All right. All right,
yeah, it's dean@coachingwithdean.com. I just put it in the chat there.
All right, let's give a round of applause for Dean. That was huge. Don't you know? Dean, and yeah, we also want to thank you as well for being part of this, being so open and vulnerable and sharing your story. Oh, that's just so great.
Yeah, just so grateful. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right, next up, we're going to go to Kelly, all the way in Nevada. So Kelly, do you have any gifts or prizes that you were going to donate?
Yes, so everybody gets the gift. They said, so the gift is I am aligned. It's a self-assessment. I had a couple of people who were kind of typing in the chat. So this is kind of how you're going to see if your personal desires are aligned with your professional goals and where you are. So everybody gets that. And then I do have one prize. And so let's see, we got enough people on. If anybody can guess the number, or whoever gets closest to the number that I'm thinking, they're going to get one complimentary from Stuck to Flourishing mini coaching session with me to just kind of break that barrier for you real quick, and then you can get to moving. So what am I thinking? I'm sorry, it's a number from, I didn't even give you like a range. Y'all just like typing, but come on with it. But it was from 1 to 25. Dean already did it. Okay, we'll do 1 to 50. Let's see, because he's above that. Let's see who gets closest.
All right, so
we're making sure nobody hits it on the spot.
So Chad's got 7, Errol's got
Is that
6,
everybody?
Kathy's got 5, Dean's got 42, Marilyn's got 16, Errol's got 22, Betty
All right,
21,
is that
Marilyn
everybody?
27, 13, 18, 22.
Oh, we got one more coming in, okay. So the number, oh, they're still coming in. Stop, is that it? Okay, the number was 23, exactly. So Lee got it. So congratulations. I will get your information and I will send you how to sign up.
Congratulations, Lee. Oh, thank you, Kelly. Oh, alrighty, appreciate you. And thank you as well for being part of the book, and also for everything that you've done and that you do. Well, super excited. All right, let's go to Ariel. Oh man, like how I think we almost cried, didn't we? Or I think some of us were probably crying when Ariel was was sharing. So Ariel, I know that you sent me a message, and your prize is for who lives near Ariel? Sorry, Ariel, over to you. Let us know about your.
So anybody who is ever in town, because I do know some of you guys do come to town because my father-in-law is friends with you. It's a free gift of a free photo session with getting all of the photos that we take, as well as having 2 outfit changes in a location of your choice between Midland and Odessa. Yeah, and like a mouse. Stop it. Go on. Go play with my phone.
That is an awesome prize. So what we're going to do in about, we'll probably go in about a week. So probably a week today. We're going to do one of those spin the wheels like virtual. We'll put the prizes on there. We'll press the button and then it'll be random. So Ariel, thank you. Hello. Hopefully I've said your name correctly. I'm going to put you on the spot. So I know that you're in real estate, and I'll take house. I'll take one.
Okay. You want to be in the luxury division?
Oh, okay. That sounds expensive. All right. Hello. Do you have any gifts or prizes or anything at all? That I know that it's probably a bit short notice.
And so this is to send out now.
Yeah. So what we've got gifts. So a gift might be, for an example, it might be like some sort of ebook or like a PDF that everybody can get. So those are the gifts. And then we've also got some prizes, which can be maybe 1 or 2 people, and then we'll draw a raffle, spin the wheel, next week.
Okay, I can do a PDF. What would be I'm not prepared. So what would be the most helpful thing about learning about how purchasing a home or selling a home. And I can do a PDF with lots of pointers and tips.
I think that would be valuable for everybody. Yeah, everybody.
But it would be, I could customize it if you wanted it customized to you.
Brilliant. Does everyone like the sound of that? Yeah, we're getting some nods too. Thumbs up. Oh, yeah. That is generous. So yeah, thank you. I love that. Yeah, and thank you for being here as well. And we need to catch up in a couple of weeks, and we're going to be doing interviews with the co-authors and hearing about their experience as well. So thank you. Hello. Alrighty, so lovely Lee Smith, another one of my favorite people in the world. Haven't seen you for a while. Lee, talk to us.
Hi, Jay.
Hey.
Well, I am so passionate about rewriting your self-talk that I bought the domain. And so if you go to rewriteyourselftalk.com, I have a 5-minute reset there. And there's a one-pager that looks very similar to this, where there's 2 columns. So it's don't say this, don't say that, rather. Don't say that, because that's the inner critic. And on the other side, it's say this. So if you're thinking, yeah, I know the negative sayings, I know what those sound like, but what's the positive reframe so that I can lean into that and build my confidence? And it's something that you can print out. You can have it by your desk side. You can look at it. Oh, yeah, right. Or you can save it as a desktop, a wallpaper on your phone. And so if you're always around with your phone in your hand, you hear that negative inner critic popping up, and you're like, wait, what should I be saying instead? What was that again? You can take a look at it there, or you can tape it to your bathroom mirror, because that's where we start the day, and you want to start the day off right. You have it there until it becomes a natural thing. You've replaced it with that positive loop. That's so powerful. So that's a free gift to everybody here. Rewriteyourselftalk.com. A little 5-minute reset, because 5 minutes is all you need, and you were worth it and more. And then for my free gift, when you spin the wheel, Dre, I would love to give that winner a 30-minute power session where we really shift that mindset. We can do that in that 30-minute session. So have that breakthrough for you.
I love that. That power session sounds powerful. All right. Anyway, Lee, sending you so much love. Appreciate you, and so glad that you are part of this. All right, and then I think we've only got 2 more, and then we can wrap this bad boy up. So we'll go over to Chad, and then we'll finish with Jay. Chad, over to you.
Thank you. Yeah, so whenever you do the raffle or spin the wheel, whatever it is, I'm just going to be offering just an introductory breathwork session with me. So it's a 90-minute session. They're typically $250, so that's what I charge. So it's a good value. So it's a breathwork and essentially coaching session, kind of all in one.
And I know that I probably can't be in it. I might just sneak my name into that as well.
Trey, we can do something. I got you, bro. Hit me up. Yeah. I got you. We'll figure something out.
That is so valuable, Chad. Yeah, thank you to you, and also, for sharing your story and your experiences and everything that you've been through, and being so generous as well. Alrighty, thank you. Last but not least, Jay Cornell. All right, Jay, over to you. What are you offering?
Yes. So for everyone, we have our Permission to Flourish magazine. That is next edition will be in December. So if you'd like to write an article, it's a gift to everyone. So no charge. And you can also put send your logo and all of your handles, and we will put you in as a sponsor as well to spotlight you. And then for the spinning of the wheel, you get the winner will get a chapter in the next book. and whatever 𝗦𝗘𝗢𝗢 put together for digital gift bag.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Jay. So before we wrap up, I just want to thank each and every one of the co-authors, also everybody that is in this Zoom room now, for your time and your energy as well. We really appreciate it. Everybody that's watching the replay, we appreciate all the support as well, and we will let you all know the results in the next few days. So thank you, thank you, thank you. But I also want to thank Ramel, who was not here, who put the video trailer together. Also Christine, that does all the social media, and she was helping out on the Zoom. We couldn't do it without you, Christine, so we appreciate you so much. And then Asha, the editor, who I think you all know as well. We definitely couldn't do this without you, and just the hours that you work and just the way that you think and your creativity. So much love to you. And 𝗦𝗘𝗢𝗢, the engine, yes. So not a Kia, a Ferrari. 𝗦𝗘𝗢𝗢 is on it, absolutely on like everything. So much love for you. Jay, okay. Yeah, we just all love you as well, and we appreciate you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And any final words, 𝗦𝗘𝗢𝗢, Jay, is there anything that you want to leave us with?
Thank you, Dre. Thank you, 𝗦𝗘𝗢𝗢, Christine. Thank you to all the amazing authors that shared their story, trusting us, because we know it can be hard, because once you put pen to paper and it's published, it's forever. So thank you for being a part of this and this journey, and just being vulnerable and trusting us. We take that very seriously. So thank you. Thank you to everyone.
What a perfect way to end. All right, I'm going to stop the recording. 3, 2, 1. We are done. Diddly done.